Hello everybody, ukpancakes here, back again with another video on Cuphead. Last video we went over how to beat Princess Candy, link on how to beat her here. But today we'll be going over the last boss for us to be covering for the World 2. The Genie, or Djimmi the Genie. Yeah, let's do this. So this boss is actually pretty hard. It took me a bit to figure out him and his patterns and how to beat him. This boss can actually really be pretty good if you don't know what you're doing at all. This boss has like 5 phases, one more than the usual like 4 phases a boss has, just in case you couldn't count. And since this is a flying level, you don't have to worry about most of your loadout, but I'll get to that later. So I'll jump right into the first phase here. When you start, he's gonna pull out this this kind of chest, and it's like, Khajiit has wares if you have coin, get up.
Khajiit has wares if you have coin.
I'm sorry, I'm just a big fan of Skyrim. I'm sorry I had to show you that. Anyway, this boss is 3 different attacks for the first phase. Either these golden bugs, I forgot what they're called, I'm sorry. These then for the third one, these scimitars will come after you, and these weird gem and chalice things, which is the most the Khajiit has wares type of thing.
Khajiit has wares.
The second phase is where he'll disappear and he says
3, 2, 1.
Got a blast!
And trap you with these pillar things, and it's like you're in this weird box, pillars are coming at you, and you gotta try and get to the end of the suffering, kind of like school or my life. The third phase is where he reappears in the sarcophagus and decides to send his eyeballs after you, as well as these annoying ghosts after you. The fourth phase is where he decides to be Jew and steal your memes and copies you and your abilities, and you're sitting over there like,
you're right, that's a 5th floor problem.
Not in my house.
And decide seems like a pretty good idea to destroy him and take his soul for stealing your meme like this. The 5th and final phase is where he thinks of this great idea to have his head cover half of the screen and have his pyramids and stuff take up the other 2/3 of what is left of the screen. So you're at a loss when it comes to actually seeing what is going on during the rest of the fight. So it's a little bit hard. You're getting overwhelmed by all this stuff on the screen. So yeah. Now onto the actual loadout part of the overview and loadout section of this video. So since you're riding a plane for this part, you couldn't tell, you don't really need to worry about your actual bullet loadout type, and you also can't use the smoke grenade, so that's out of the question. And your super is the Hiroshima bomb, so you don't have to worry about the ceramic beam or whatever. So the only thing you can customize is your charm, but like I said before, you can't use your smoke bomb. But I recommend that stuff to either be an extra hit point or the charm where your special meter gets filled up even when you're not doing anything at all. So yeah, let's go on to the fight. So this first phase can either be really easy or really hard depending on what type of wares the Genie wants to sell to you. As I said, the little bug token is one of them, the scimitars is another, and the last one you get is like the gems and trophies and chalices and stuff. Let's go over the bugs first, since they're the easiest to dodge out of all of them. So what he does for this is that he sends out like 2 or 3 different cat sarcophaguses, and they burst open and send these flying bugs after you for a little bit. but I think they think like a cat, because after a couple seconds of them following you, they decide to just, stop and fly away, so it's easy to avoid these guys since, they think like a cat. The second attack of his items that he has are these scimitars that pop out of the chest, and they spin towards you, spin around in place for a little bit, and then go back into your direction, lunging towards you, thus, going off the screen and, being away from you. The easiest way to avoid these is to just turn small, or have fast enough reflexes to avoid their first lunge at you, then just be careful when they come back at you for the second time, and then, disappear off the screen. The third attack he can do are these gems that go every which way, and are completely random. The best way to avoid these is just to be small the entire time they're out, because these guys are hard to avoid, and since they have just such a random sense of direction, it's easy to get hit, and you can easily take a lot of damage by failing to neglect that, and not being small. So you definitely want to make sure to be smaller for this section. So Djimmi over here says he's got a blast and traps you inside this side-scrolling area. It's weird. What this is that these are a series of pillars that can only be broken through if you shoot the laughing faces on each of the pillars. And when you do that, the blocks disappear and you have this little window to go through. And in the buffer zones between each of these pillars is a spike ball bouncing inside them. So keep a lookout for the spike ball in those buffer zone areas, and you should be safe when it comes to getting past that little part. So what he does for the third phase is that he will bring out his tomb and hide in it while spitting his eyeballs at you. Wow, these guys, this guy's ghost buddies are sprinting out of the tomb as well. So the best way to do this phase is to fly all the way to the very left side of the screen while sending out the eyeballs. And almost every time I did this, I flew all the way over to the left and just stayed there, and I almost never got hit doing that. So that's a good strategy to do. And there's nothing you can do about the ghosts except just keep an eye peeled out for them while shooting the genie, and just make sure they don't hit you. So. So what he does for this fourth phase is that he'll steal your meme of being a cuphead and become a cuphead. And I don't know if you guys know this, but on this channel, stealing memes is an offense on the highest level. Subscribe to me, by the way, for no more memes being stolen. Because, nobody likes their meme being stolen. Anyway, as I was saying, you can't let him steal your meme, so you're gonna have to kill him for that. What the imposter cuphead does is that he'll shoot 4 bullets at you, fourth one being parryable, and stop for a couple seconds while the genie's hat is following you, shooting even more bullets at you. The best way to do this is to go up and down the screen in a circular motion to avoid the imposter cuphead from shooting you, and to turn tiny wherever the hat is about to shoot you in a square in the nutsack. Also, make sure to parry the 4th shot if possible, because that'll be useful for the 5th and final phase. So, for the last and final phase, the genie decides to pull a Cheat Master Supreme and take up half the screen with his big fat face, and the top and bottom parts of the rest of the screen that aren't covered by his face, the top and bottom part of the screen, is covered with junk that you can go barely anywhere with, because, it's covering everything. You're surrounded by his pyramids, and you're shooting with his eye, and also saying the Illuminati lasers after you that, the pyramids are shooting, so you got a lot of bullets coming after your ass. The best thing to do for this phase is to always stay in the middle as much as you can to avoid the lasers, and every time he sends his laser eyes at you, go small and fly away, and once it's gone, go back to the middle immediately. Hopefully you should beat him. If you didn't know, we here at UK Penguins hate it when memes are stolen. we don't take too kindly to, you know, meme thieves around here and people stealing memes. You may think it's a joke, but it is not a laughing matter to us. You will be publicly beaten and executed if you steal memes. And if you don't like your memes being stolen, subscribe to me. Any meme stealers will be executed no matter what, no matter their age, gender, race. They will be punished for their crimes no matter what. Subscribe to UK Pancakes for a better future for memes. This has been UK Pancakes. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice. I'm the devil's right-hand man. I can't let you pass, 'cause you ain't done everything. Bring me those contracts, come on, bring them to the king. If you haven't finished your task, haven't worked assiduously, no, I cannot let you pass, don't you